Hello and welcome to a Wagtail and Django CMS live code hangout. Today we're going to work on the Western Friend project. Western Friend source code is available on GitHub at github.com/westernfriend, and we're in the WF website repository. Today we're working on an issue with embedded media. Embedded video specifically, but I think this also pertains to audio embeds, if I'm not mistaken. We'll take a look at the issue more in depth, but basically the problem is when embedding a video, it's taking up 100% of the width now of the parent container. This was intentional that we did this 100% width so that video embeds would scale and look more natural. However, that means that using just the CSS 100% width hack, so to speak, we're not able to use these manual width controls, which specify pixel values. These pixel values come back from the OEmbed provider, and they were honestly, the defaults are pretty small, but nonetheless, the editor would like to be able to manually resize those. So we're just going to have to allow that to happen. So let's take a look here. Make sure we're in a new branch. Okay, so we'll go over to the main, pull in the changes. So we're synchronized with main, and we'll create a new branch here. Call it embed use width, something like that. So issue number 506, if you're following along at home. And I believe we're in the where was this? It's actually in the block definition now that I think about it. The markup, it doesn't use, at least not the example in the Wagtail documentation, it doesn't use regular template. Whoa, my screen is jittery. So we might need to use string interpolation here. Let's see if this works. Okay, so we're going to I should probably split these 50-50. I don't need quite so much space for the editor. Man, I wonder if it's Docker that's eating up all my CPU. 50-50 looks pretty decent, and I'll just make that adjustment over here also. Yeah. All right. So we'll log in. Tech at and basically this should work on any article should work. Maybe it's Brave that's like something is causing a lot of jitter. Doesn't allow it. Okay, so let's try something in the library. Interesting. Library, leave that. Add library item. And we've got an embed. And let's grab an embed. So, what are we going to use? I think this is a video embed. Maybe this is too meta, but let's try embedding this. Now what it's going to do, if I understand correctly, we didn't write this code, so I don't quite understand it. It's going to grab the OEmbed data from YouTube and embedded that in the page. And it's not what I was expecting quite. Media block. Right. I think I understand what's going on here now. So the OEmbed one's that's out of our hands, but the issue pertains to this custom media block implementation where Mary's actually uploading it looks like an audio file perhaps with somehow encoded as a video. This is the one. Okay, so this is actually a video. Say video as. Let's try 300. So it's not the embed. And that I don't have control over, and if we want to control the width there, we would be reliant on Wagtail. All right, but let's see if I can reproduce this now. So yes, here we have this, and there's the 300 width. Okay, very good. I was hoping that the value would be available there, and what we can do is just parse that. Since we're using f-string now, we can just place that here. Get rid of these. Yeah, that worked. Okay, so then, yeah, so, 300 is a bit small. Let's try. You know, for example, Head of this medium. Let's say, oh, okay, let's try 500 or 450 pixels. This is your 0 there. And then the soundbite was updated, so that means I can go back to the library item, which is awkward. Because that would have a global effect anywhere the soundbite's used. That's not quite ideal. Yeah, the formatting should follow the presentation of the item and not the item itself. Because the item could be presented in multiple different contexts. I didn't make any changes. I didn't want to get to it. Oh, I could have clicked the live. But nonetheless, it worked. Sort of worked. Problem is it's not playing now, is this?
We came back from the cop really.
So that's working. Save. So this is not getting mapped. Hey, what's up, Gross QS? Welcome to the live stream. How are you doing today? This is a bit of a, let me move this chat over so I can see. Here we go. This is a bit tricky. Wagtail, so what we're doing here is Wagtail Media Blog. And I'm just going to follow their documentation. Which may have been updated, but essentially this is what they're doing. Now they've got a hard-coded value here. I should actually suggest here that they update it. Cool. I'm wondering if yeah, let's debug this. Okay, so I'm wondering if this is just not getting formatted into this. We should do the return value here. And then stop the server. Let's put it in run in debug Django mode. All right. Ready to roll. Now if I just refresh, there we go. So we got a value, the media sound bites, and we should have sources. Yeah, see it? There they are, sources, and there's just one. Source S. I wish I understood more of what this code is exactly doing. Swap over to the, where is that defined? It's got a separator, a format string, and an arguments generator. Mark save. So new line separator. Format string is essentially this. So they're going to put something in here. Oh, this is deep. Well, one thing I can do, so it's going to get the attributes, I think, which are source and type. And it's going to map those into a source. Well, that would think that would help. Let's take a look at this. All right, step over it and we'll take another look at that. Okay, so it is working in that much, but now if I refresh the page, what do we get in that? Oh, let's see the player code. There's 1. Nested too deeply. Okay. Yeah. Formatted response. It's not very pretty, but oh my goodness. I think you can't use F strings and triple quotes. That's right, so It's not as trivial as I was thinking. So format HTML sounds straightforward. Let's double check it. All right, so actually, yeah. So I take the same formatting string and just pass that in. All right. Well, at least that worked. I mean, so it's back to working. Width 450. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's try something more conservative and see. And then edit the media. It should be like 200, something really noticeable. Yo, and then view this live. All right, that didn't quite inspect. Well, that did work. Pixels. And we need space also. Yeah. Okay. Let's see how this handles none values. Pretty good. Okay, then the other thing is let's try it with an audio. I think I have something. Bounces. Publish. Just worked. Okay, and that's just using the default width. Yeah, we might want to just use that. Now let me double check. So let's just set the. That's cool though. I'll call it good. It's just discarding those, I suppose. Hey, what's up, Eduardo? Magnify. Okay, yeah, good point. I didn't think about that. Let's see. I should have this set to something like 16 pixels, I think, right? Text editor. Editor font size. Ah. $16. Let's try 16. That's a bit big. How about 14? Yeah. All right. How's that? Is that more legible? 14 or 16 is cool. It's comfortable for my eyes. I want to make sure it's visible on the screen as well. How are you doing, Eduardo? Are you doing any Python Django development? What kind of projects are you interested in working on? All right, so I think we're good to go here. It's a small change. We'll just add this change here. Let's see how easy it is to view these diffs when it's this big. Not too bad. Yeah, that was a bit of a debugging thing. Let's... All right. Very cool. So let's hop back over now to GitHub. See where we are. We don't need so many of these open. Closes 5:06. Very cool. All right. It's 6:30. I think we're going to take a little bit of a break, kind of rest for the evening. That was a relatively challenging, but low-hanging fruit nonetheless. In my next session, I'm going to be looking at probably some more advanced querying techniques in Django using an add-on library. Whoosh, I think is what it's called. And Whoosh gives us the ability to do advanced queries like across collections or using advanced indexing. I'm not exactly sure the context or the full capabilities, but the issue we'll be working on is it's kind of pressing. Ooh, I've got a lot of issues actually, but it's this one. Magazine Postgres, and it's an answer I got a couple of years ago actually it's been a bit. We're going to be adding this indexing of extra fields, and we're going to use the Wagtail page model to traverse into subclasses and search these custom fields. But in order to do that, I had to switch over to using Postgres in my local development environment so that we can then refactor the code locally so that it would match our server environment. SQLite has been doing a great job so far, and we haven't needed many advanced features, but we'll be zooming into this. Nothing is really visible. Okay. I wonder if what's the stream quality? Let me check this. Got my thing going on over here. It might be that my encoding rate is not high enough. That's possible. Maybe this is too meta, but let's try embedding this. I think that if I that's true. We do need a bit higher quality screen to see a live code session, but the code quality looks decent here. I mean, I can read it. It's a bit confusing. What am I looking at? So yeah, I mean, I can read it on this screen. It's confusing because I'm looking at a duplicate of a duplicate. Sorry. Let me just close that. Open a different browser tab. Sorry, but yeah, I want to make sure that the stream quality is good. But the code is definitely clear on my screen. I increased the font size, and it's legible. Everything is legible at high def mode too. Make sure you're streaming at high def mode, at 1080p. If you bump it down, it's like 720p. It starts to get more pixelated, and that could be the problem that you're experiencing. And yeah, I mean, this is a live code stream, so I can't really do much else. It's text on the screen. Nonetheless, I do appreciate the feedback, and I'm willing to take any suggestions to make this stream better quality. Very cool. Yo, so well, while we're here, what kind of projects are y'all interested in working on? I can bring up some of the example projects on stream, or if there's particular technologies you're interested in seeing, I might be able to incorporate some of those into the feed. So far, I'm mainly focusing on Python and Django to get this project across the finish line. We've been working on this for several years, and we'd like to finish it hopefully this year. It's here on GitHub. If you're interested, it's a community website. It's got a lot of features. It's got e-commerce. It's got magazine subscription. A number of things. It's quite extensive. So feel free to use any of the code here. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up for today. It's towards the end of the day here, evening here. It's almost 7 p.m. So this has been another Wagtail CMS and Django live code session. Today we worked on the Western Friend website. I've opened a pull request here, allowing us to control the width of videos that are rendered using our media block. Originally, we were rendering them at 100% width with the idea that the media should just fill a container. I still think that was a good idea, but the editor was noticing that, it just took the whole container, so it didn't quite look the way they expected on their screen. So we just gave the editor the control now to specify the width and height in pixels, and it'll just adhere to that. In order to do that, we had to pass these width and height values into this formatted HTML method here. It's actually hidden. There's this format HTML method that takes some pre-rendered HTML. My rice is done, so maybe it's time for dinner too. And in the case of video, that HTML looks like this, and it's now has two placeholders, 1 and 2. This was the original placeholder that would be used 0, 1, and 2. So this format HTML takes any number of arguments, takes some original code with formatting strings in there. This was what was a bit confusing to me, but this is just a string with some formatting placeholders. Got 3 of them, 0, 1, and 2. And it maps those to the arguments that are passed in after the string. So you got your formatted string here, and then any argument passed in after that goes into the corresponding slot if it's available. You'll notice here that in the case of anything other than video, they're assuming audio, basically. This is code that came straight from this Wagtail media package, which I might suggest this improvement to their example. I just literally used their example previously, which had hard-coded values, so that didn't look good. Nonetheless, we're going back and forth a bit about this. But yeah, just took a little bit to figure out, but that's the way of the code. You just got to kind of try stuff out, try to get understanding of it. You know, everything's open source here, so we can, of course, just put our cursor on something and jump right into that definition there. So I just hit function F12 here. Hopefully that'll work on my code editor, and just see what's going on with that. And luckily it's well documented. This comes from Django core, so most of their code is, you know, high quality, well documented, and modular. So it's, you know, small functions that don't have much scope to have to figure out, and fairly Pythonic. It's just essentially using Python with a bit of Python string format, but escaping for safety, I suppose, marking as safe, stuff like that. All right, so this has been another Python and Django live code hangout. And Jacob says, yeah, you check that out on GitHub. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, Jacob Valenta, let me know if there's any other projects you're working on. We'll check those out as well. I just want to make sure that on every live stream I'm making the source code available, doing these open source projects. That way, anything you see here on the stream, you can also use in your own endeavors. And if you've got some code that you're trying to figure out, or some way that you want to solve a problem, but you don't quite know what would be a good solution, I can help out on the stream as well. So I'm available as a co-buddy. We can do some pair programming on that. Okay, thanks for stopping by the stream. Hope to see you around again, and have a great day.